Hello, welcome back to Mr. Arsenal podcast for another Champions League watch along. I'm a bit late, literally just been setting up everything and it's over that, but we're just kicking off now. Real Madrid at home against Liverpool, first leg. Chance for certain players to get sort of revenge for the Champions League final a couple of years back. It's really big. I mean, also it's sort of been set up as well that Liverpool now go into it are the favourites. With Ramos being out injured and apparently tested positive for COVID, and who else? Someone else. I can't remember who it was now. It'll come back to me in a minute. But yeah, another player who's been tested positive for COVID. So he'll be out for both legs as well. But yeah, Madrid are playing at their training complex as well. They're not at Bernabeu, but I couldn't find an image of this place, so I had to use a Bernabeu as an image for the thumbnail. So do forgive. But yeah, Liverpool going full strength. Got Salah, Fabinho, Wijnaldum as the captain. Robertson, Keita, Yotta's even started as well. Like usual suspects, basically. They're strongest 11, basically. Speak up Stephen in the chat already. Can't believe they're playing in a training ground. Don't even get me started on that. That's what another horse crap that is. Champions League, and because they're redeveloping the Bernabeu, revamping it or whatever. Oh no, we're going to play all our home games at the training complex because it has seats there, but there's no seats. You can't have people in there anyway. So surely it could have been something. There's someone would have done a ground share of them in Spain this season. Obviously, Atletico would have done that. Obviously, the rivalry and all that. You wouldn't expect them to. But training ground, that's ridiculous. Oh dear. Unless needs to say that Tash off, that is dodgy as fuck. I'm telling you, in my opinion, anyway. Bear with me a second while I turn the lamp on my behind me here. Oh, bloody hell! There we go. That's better. Oh, right. Also, we will be keeping tabs on the other game in the Champions League this evening, Man City versus Dortmund. Obviously, Haaland possibly auditioning to take over for Aguero tonight. What he's doing, obviously, tonight has been the first stage of that audition. I think Haaland is what? It could be an upset tonight in terms of the result there. I wouldn't be surprised, just due to Jude Bellingham being in the squad and Haaland. Mainly Haaland, obviously, because he's a goal machine. The fucking kid doesn't know he thrives on these big occasions. He literally thrives on it. He doesn't know what not scoring is in a big game. And it's not get it twisted. It is a big game for Dortmund tonight. Yeah, you Mark saying, yes, why the fuck are they playing at the training ground? Basically, what it is that redeveloping the Bernabeu this season or revamping it, whatever they've got. Basically, I don't know, modernising it, basically, it's as best they can. And instead of ground sharing with someone, either just outside of Madrid or a lower ranked team in Madrid, not a non-Liga team, they decided to play all their home games at their training complex for some bizarre reason. But yeah, that's what I was doing, getting the other game up. I mean, 2 birds with 1 stone. So yeah, Man City still 0-0 as well. 4 minutes in there. Madrid on the attack. Why would he go for a shot from there? Idiot. That's it. Essentially as well. Don't get why he was going for a shot from that angle, even though there's no one around to help him out, to support him. There was no need for him to have that shoot from that angle. Obviously, tomorrow night, also, as I said, we will be covering the main event. We'll be covering PSG versus Bayern Munich, along with obviously keeping tabs on the other game between Chelsea and Porto. But the main event being PSG Bayern Munich, repeat of last season's Champions League final, so that'd be interesting, I think, as well. And then obviously before that, at some point during the day, I'm doing a preview for the Arsenal's first leg for Thursday's game against fucking Slavia Prague. I've already decided, by the way, before the news came out, the sort of news that's come out today, and that's on the situation that ensued in the last round. That in terms of the thumbnail, they'll count themselves lucky that they'll have the badge on the thumbnail, but I'm not putting any players on it. I may even change my mind, not put a single, not even have a mention of Slavia, just like I've been doing for these thumbnails. So to have the Arsenal badge, Arsenal players, obviously live match, watch along, and obviously I only mention no game as being a title, obviously, because I have to describe what's going on. Because of the obvious reason of what's happened from the last game they played in Europa League. What's got me today with the news that's come out, by the way, in UEFA is Kamara's been investigated as well for some reason. He's been racially abused. It's clear as day. Yeah, not only is the main guy, the main antagonist being put through the mill, and as it stands, serving a one-match ban, which is ridiculous, by the way. By the way, coincidentally falls in a time where he's refused to travel with the team, because obviously he's apparently said when he came back to the UK, when he was next in the UK, he would answer all questions by the Scottish police and all that. Obviously, he's refused to do that. So, and then coincidentally, his news came out that he's been investigated for what he's done, but then Glenn's been investigated as well. Basically, my head hurt when I saw that. Like, why has he been? What did he do wrong? All he did was react in the sense of, you said what? The guy repeated it in front of the team and said, all they've done is literally go, okay, in sort of shock, gone round and actually try to consult the ref and say, what? Hello, he's been racist. He said, da-da-da-da. But yeah, a potential suspension of a one-game ban for racially abusing a fellow player. And you wonder why us fans believe they don't give a shit about racism. They don't want to. They're not doing enough to kick it out. Basically, as our slogan, as in here in the UK, they don't do enough. UEFA don't care. But now don't do it again. It's ridiculous. How many times has it got to happen that no matter where the player's from, as in where they're playing or where they're actually they're born from or whatever race they are, how much more racist abuse does these players take before the UEFA and FIFA actually get their head out their asses and take action and show they mean business? Shows how much is on the screen, by the way. Just showing him in his mask. What does Maiden? They're wearing his mask, but he's like that under his nose, so he's going at his tash. Like, no, put it back over your fucking nose, you idiot. But no, it's absolutely that pissed me off. It's potential. He's serving a potential one-game suspension whilst being investigated. Are you taking the piss? But what something the wound is that, and then by the way, you've been abused. You're not been abused, mate, Glenn Kamara. But we're gonna investigate you as well. The logic. Mark, in response to what's about, I have no idea. I actually have no idea. Actually, Salah, go on. Yeah, too much of heavy thought. Heavy touch from Salah there, got carried away there and gave it away. City on attack as well. City have had all the ball, as you'd expect anyway, their talent they've got. Yeah, they are, let's be honest. But you can't. It's literally out. The whole world's seen it via whatever respective channels they've watched the game on. The footage was all the same because it comes from one. All the footage we see is from one camera, basically, just different commentators. When it comes to UEFA and like UEFA competition and all that, and you see it'd be the same in the Euros. Our games that we get, the coverage we get, we just have it all around the world, just different commentators. So you've all seen the footage and the reaction that Glenn Kamara and his teammates give. The second something is said towards Glenn is evident. And then what ensues afterwards in the aftermath, and how Slavia as a club reacted that entire time, that entire 3 to 4 day period, as no, he's done nothing wrong. We were the ones we were the victims here. Then doing these anti-racism posts on their social medias and this, that, and the other 4 days later, trying to calm the things down. And it went quiet, to be honest. Until today, it went quiet. And then that news came. I was like, oh, he's taking a piss. And it's all. And the only reason that news broke, by the way, is because, as I said, the player in question for Slavia has refused to come back to the UK to answer more questions by the authorities. Oh, bloody. Oh, that's dodgy. Ronaldo's got off lucky there. Madrid, that was, oh. I'd like to see another angle there. Considering I've seen less given, a lot less given in these circumstances. I saw the Valencia owner talk. Yeah, I saw that as well today, actually, on Sky here in the UK as well. And that was literally like been not 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes of the player in question. Again, the player in question doing a press conference saying, "Oh, I'm innocent. I did nothing wrong." Yeah, I've seen him. The thing is, going back over this Modric thing, I've seen that being given this season. More recently, between PSG and Barcelona in the last round, a lot less has been given, and yeah, and then obviously that's that. Yeah, so that's that. Ronaldo's got off lucky there, I think. I'm assuming they're using VAR, even though it's at the training ground, they're using VAR for this. Oh, Madrid, ball in it. Oh, poor Liverpool got off there because Becker did not have that covered at all. Benitez almost headed him into the lead there. Wide open, no one marking him at all, no one around him at all as that ball comes in. I think he doesn't realise that. If he'd realised that, get a bit of a cleaner, looking at you now, if he'd realised, might have got a bit of a cleaner contact to that and maybe nodded them 1-0 up. But yes, back to what Mark's saying in the chat, yeah, the owner basically came out and said their game last weekend, the Liga told them if they didn't come back on the pitch, yeah. And that's what the Valencia captain came out and said as well, straight after the game. In the post-game interviews, and pardon me, in all that. Oh, that's crap from a lazy from Trent, actually. And now Madrid are back on the attack. Poor touch. Now every ball caught up. But yeah, they would lose them at 6-0 and have 3 points docked and a big fine. Exactly. And the thing, what annoyed me as well in that, as a referee and the officials have come out in their after-match in their report stuff, and saying, "Oh, we didn't hear or see anything on toward to suggest that something had gone on," so he didn't believe them. Basically, why didn't you one of you in the time that the Valencia players walked off and the game had stopped? Didn't you send one of you, either the referee himself or one of his officials, go and find the footage and then quickly? And if it's obviously not the referee going to see the footage initially, whoever is going to see that footage, got someone to go and get the referee himself and gone, right, this is what's happened. This is what we haven't seen. Something's clearly been said to the Valencia player, because look at the reaction, the body language. we need to nip this in the bud now instead of just basically penalising Valencia for doing something right. How dare you stand up for your teammate in any circumstance? How dare you? Get back on there or you lose. And you get a nice fine for it as well. And points deducted. Ridiculous. A big up Gary as well in the chat. Hope you're keeping hope you're fully recovered now and ready for Thursday. Oh dear, 2 more days until we get Arthur. We get put through the mill again. Because no way in God's green earth, even though we're home of fighting things, nothing especially with Arsenal this season. But taking the home or away thing out of the equation for a second here, no way are we going to make this tie easy at all. It should be. I mean, the players we have at our disposal compared to theirs, it should be clear cut that we should comfortably get to the semi-final of the competition at least. Oh, good defensive header there from I can see now. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Because show me in a sec. Didn't catch the numbers. I'm not going to just second guess. God, that's all I need. No, not showing me. But anyway. Nice of the league to support the club and the player. Exactly. It's ridiculous. Oh dear. Oh yeah. Move this side back. There we go. Still 0-0 in the other game, by the way. Dortmund on the attack. This will be interesting. Go on, Dortmund. Come on. Ah, lucky. Hesitated. Good to see Fabinho in the midfield, actually, not in defence. This is what we've done. We've actually fucking revitalised in Liverpool and Klopp's belief in that sort of defenders that he's got. Because he didn't go for them, or bar Martinelli. He had no time to really go for it and put his foot on their neck. Madrid on the attack again. Oh, unlucky. Stefan, are Real Madrid doing a cheating best as per usual? Not yet. Yet being the operative word. Not yet. Give them time though. It's only what? 17 minutes into the game, so give them time. Big up, Cheddars. How you doing, mate? How are you feeling? This is your team now. How are you feeling in this game? How are you feeling about the start? That's a dodgy pass from went out. But yeah, City 1-0. I'm literally must be just behind then. You about to see it now? Yeah, I'm about to see it now. De Bruyne. Yeah. Oh, that's the. Where was the defending in that? Seriously. M.A. Chan just stood there. They all just stood there and watched it all unfold. It was like watching Rob Holding defend. Firmino should have started. Yeah, that's. But also, Jota does because of how Jota changed the game on Saturday in the sense of even though you were dominating, he pushed you over the line basically and got you that goal, which then killed us off, and you just finished us all as a whole. Then, so you had to reward him, but it hasn't. But saying that, hasn't Klopp played all 4 in one game, a few games as well at once? So it could have been done. I don't know. I think he's played it safe just in case. But I get what you're saying, yeah. Because I don't think have you got this weekend? Actually, that'd be interesting to know. Says it all, not even keeping track. Usually I'm on top of everything in terms of who's got who in the league. We've got Sheffield United, and we're away, and that was what the 4th game of the season. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying there, Jed. Because But also, actually, due to last night, that's another thing. Due to last night's result in La Liga, with Barcelona winning by the skin of their teeth in the end, considering who they were playing, and they were at home as well. But because they nicked the win, and what that means for the La Liga title race now, they're now 1 point off Atletico because Atletico bottled it again this weekend. And I looked at their form last night. Was it last night? Yeah, last night. No, the night before, sorry, Atletico's form. Since the Madrid derby, they've dropped a lot of points. I think they've won like one game in La Liga since then, out of 4. So the Madrid derby was a draw. Then they won. Then they drew again, and then obviously they lost this weekend. Yeah, mate, trust. I'm going to say it now. If Atletico, after literally being top of La Liga from day one, end up not winning La Liga, when they had, at one point, a 10, 12-point gap on both Real Madrid and Barcelona, if they bottle it and they don't win it now, with 10 games to go, 9 or 10 games left, and there's a big game which I'm going to get onto in a sec coming up, that could also have a big influence on who the title race itself going forward from next weekend. Questions are going to be asked of Simeone. And argue, you could actually say Simeone could face the chop because he sacrificed and bottled the Champions League, a good Champions League run at least, for that to secure the title. They haven't done well in their domestic cups either this season, and then to basically, as I said, from day one, be top of the Liga, and then literally with 8-9 games going, you're on the verge of throwing it all away. I'd say if that happens, I'll be honest. I'll say that as a neutral, that would be like saying, you know what, it's time to move on. Fresh pair of eyes and all that at Atletico, because then it sort of seeps in. Because if obviously Atletico do bottle the Liga, if they do, and he stays on, that mentality starts seeping in a lot more. Because up till the last couple of weeks, the last month or so in La Liga wise for their La Liga games, this was looking a very different outcome compared in the sense of it looked like they were going to walk it and win it with a few games to spare, compared to the last La Liga title win in 2014, when it was literally between from day one, Madrid, Real Madrid, them, and Barca. Literally every other week, one of the three were bottling it, and it just so happened in the last 4 games of the season, Atletico decided to actually not bottle it and actually win all their games, whilst the other 2 decided to keep bottling, not winning basically. And that just got him over the line basically. Says it all, and then literally, it said it all about that. Literally, because it went down to the final game of the season, that the authorities didn't believe that Atletico would win the title, even though Atletico picked up form and literally it was in their hands, so to speak. They didn't believe they would win it because they had the trophy in Catalan, so they had to do the trophy presentation, the official proper trophy presentation. First game of the following season, apparently, and Costa then would leave. In between all that, he was leaving to go to Chelsea in West London. Oh, go on. Benzema. But you know what? Madrid, 24 minutes in, have looked more threatening, actually. Whereas I was saying as the game was kicking off earlier, we started this stream, this was all setting up the way things had happened with Ramos and I still can't remember the other guy's name, being injured and testing positive for COVID. This is all was all sort of giving itself up for Liverpool to actually take this first leg at least and put the pressure on Zidane. Oh, fucking hell. Liverpool Villa, that'd be interesting. But yeah, because of what happened then yesterday, Barcelona winning. I am going to be covering on Saturday night the big one, Barcelona versus Real Madrid El Clasico. Was it obviously it's a big game in itself anyway, but because of the implications of what happens in that result, well then, no matter what happens, it's going to put pressure on Atletico in 24 hours later against Real Betis. So I might even cover that actually, depending on the result on Saturday. As long as it doesn't coincide with our game, actually, I need to check that. Don't think it does. I think we're done by then on Sunday. But yeah, Liverpool Villa, that's going to be an interesting game. I might even cover, you know what, I might even cover that because who would have thought mid-table battle between Liverpool and Moscow? Villa could actually. I don't see Villa doing anything against Liverpool, to be honest. Unless Grealish comes back, because yeah, they beat Fulham at the weekend 3-1, but once Fulham kicked that one goal, you knew who was going to win. I've had to go in the same. Don't tell my. I know people that have Atletico fans don't tell them that. Fucking hell. And they're top of the Liga apparently. Oh, here we go. Yeah, 1-0 Real Madrid. Vinicius, that was poor defending. What was that? That was route one, pretty much. That's just literally. There wasn't like tippy tappy sort of football. That was literally just like, okay, cool. But yeah, Atletico in the same form as Arsenal. We have 3 wins out of 10. I believe. Sounds about right. It's just weird, but yeah, since that derby, because they were just hanging on, they were still getting over the line in La Liga with their wins and all that up to that derby. And I think conceding that late equaliser in the Madrid derby has fucked them, because since then they have been shit in all competitions. And that's saying something coming from an Arsenal fan. But yeah, I need to change my thing now. So Real Madrid have scored Vinicius. To be honest, they have looked more threatening. Liverpool ain't laid a glove on Madrid yet. Not even really tested. They've had a few balls into the box, but nothing really testing. And there we go. Sorry, Jedders. How the hell? This is Madrid team went from struggling first half of this season. Madrid were shocking. They barely got out of their group alive, and since, like we've seen in Liverpool, since New Year hit, they've switched it up a bit and got themselves back into title race contention in the Liga, as we just spoke about. How that's going down, but also giving themselves a chance of a shot at the Champions League, which could save Zinedine Zidane, which then could in turn, depending on what happens last season, help us keep Martin Odegaard. I don't think it'll happen, but you never know. Oh my God, no! Who are they playing? Who are Norwich playing to be 5-0 up already? I need to see this. 5-0 up. Look, this is going to annoy me though. This is what annoys me about teams that go down come up after years of not being in the Premier League, come up, and it's like they deliberately get relegated, knowing because they get the parachute payments. Again, not testing the fucking Madrid defence or the keeper there. That's poor for Mane. Huddersfield, oh my days, Huddersfield, are you mad? Brentford are bottling it against Birmingham City as well, 0-0 there. Could be worse, could be Cardiff City. Sorry, Brownie. Is that a penalty to... Yeah, it looks like a penalty to Man City by the looks of it, once there. And someone's getting a red by the look. No, it's a book. Emre Can's been booked. Is it a penalty though? They're in the box, I'm assuming it's a penalty. I missed it here. Oh, come on. From close up. Didn't touch. Are you taking the piss? How's he been booked for that? Yeah, he's flicked a leg up. He hasn't even touched Rodrigo, and Rodrigo's gone down holding his face. And Man City have got a penalty for that. Are you? No, this ain't on, is it? Yeah, VAR checking it. Thank God for that. That cannot be given. Short. But in saying that, I've seen that's been given. That's in this season in the UEFA competition. Well, ref's going over to the monitor. This might be reversed. That is mad. I just because I missed it. So I watched the replay, and he flicked his boot to get the ball, but he didn't get the ball. He didn't touch the player. The player's just gone, the boot's there, so I'll go down because I've miscontrolled the ball anyway. He didn't touch him. He literally doesn't touch him. That's the worst angle to show because it looks like he does, but it doesn't touch him. Here we go. No, because he goes out. Rodrigo should be having a word with us. They should have a word with Rodrigo anyway. Because he goes down holding his face like he's been booted in the face. So he's indirectly trying to gain an advantage over something that hasn't happened. Oh, almost another incident in Madrid, by the way. Benzema goes down, but the ref says no, play on. He's turning it over. Yeah, but it didn't deliberately go bang, fuck off, basically. It wasn't a deliberate, it's just the ball would be on and he tried to get the ball. It wasn't deliberately going bang, fuck off. Go on. Piss me off, go on. Really piss me off, UEFA. He's giving it, isn't he? Asking for the ball. No foul. No penalty. The penalty's been reversed. Thank God for that. And you know what? Fair play to the ref. What's it? What? Why is Emichan complaining? Because the ref's explaining to him why he's reversed it. That's what he's asking, I think. He's asking if Emichan's trying to find out if his yellow card's been reversed. The referee hasn't shown. How can a yellow card stand, or any sort of card stand, if it's not a foul? Have I missed something there? That's mad. Liverpool Klopp needs to get this team to half time at least 1-0 here. He needs to get down to keep it even 1-0, not get back into the game before half time. If it gets any worse, this time could get away from him in this game. Because that Madrid are all over him. They're going for it. Yeah, but as Steve's saying about the yellow card, more for dissent, but the dissent doesn't happen if there wasn't a mistake in the first place. So technically, he's admitted he made the mistake of it weren't a foul. So technically, by that method, that dissent would never have happened in the first place. If he'd just given the thing and waited, and then okay, check it, check the VAR. Okay, cool. I'll go over and have a look. Oh, it's not a foul. Okay, no foul. But to then go penalty, yellow card, go over anyway, have a look, then realise because it's the refs caused that aggro in the first place by going because the yellow card initially wasn't for dissent, it was initially for the foul. So he can't change them. He can't just move the goalpost to suit his own means to justify giving someone a yellow card. I'm following you by you people, no pictures of the game. You don't watch. If you want to watch the game, Stefan, you haven't got BT. Go to hisgoal.com, HES goal.com. All the games will be on there. Well, just this competition, like Champions League guys, will be all sporting events will be on there. But yeah, because these are Champions League, these will be like top of the list. And you'll probably be ahead of me anyway if you do that. ironically. Or just in sync, one of the two. Cheddars, if you're still there, I think we might actually see Firmino in the start of the second half, the way this is going, because your link up between your midfield and attack is lacking massively. That's a foul. Gotta be. Refs told him to get up. Oh my god. No way. Okay, looks like Liverpool out of the Champions League. 2 goals down to Madrid. It can't be. This can't be. You got to be talking about Man City, surely. Got to be Man City. It's got 2-0 up. No. Oh my god, what was that? Asensio with the goal there. Oh my god. What am I seeing from Liverpool? Defensively, they are all over the place tonight. What? Yeah, I think we're definitely going to see Firmino at half time coming on. Got to, because this is abysmal. The defender for both goals Liverpool has been absolutely fucking awful. I mean, Van Adam's complaining with the ref about a foul on Mane, which is rightly so, but at the same time, you still have to play the game. Both goals, defending from Liverpool for both goals has been abysmal. Literally, Cruz over the top. Who was that? That wasn't. I'm trying to think who that was. Was that Trent heading the ball into thin air and then literally fuck up the? Yeah, Trent literally goes to head the ball, but heads it into the ground, so it's back. It doesn't get the distance. It backspins and it falls to Asensio, and he just goes, okay, cheeky chip over the goalkeeper, and then literally just makes sure it goes in by tapping it in. Oh my god! You guys need Firmino, and you need him quick. And you know what? I'd actually sacrifice either one Alden or because now you're now 2-0 down instead of 1-0. If it was 1-0 still at half time, I would have sacrificed Jota instead, maybe. Because it hasn't worked. But now you're going to have to sacrifice either one Alden or Fabinho. This is mad. Yeah, Steve, it was Mustafi-esque. That was a Mustafi-esque. But to be fair, Liverpool do have a shout for a free kick, but because we've seen it, it was a foul off the ball. He's remember it's number 17. I can't think of his name now. Literally goes up, balls in the air coming over the top, and Mane's got his own back, by the way. But literally, the guy just goes cracking in Mane's back and forces him over in the build-up before the second goal happens. So but they can't complain because last season Liverpool made Man City. Man City sort of had at Anfield early on in the season where it sort of swayed them towards going for the title. It really put the momentum in their direction. The game was 0-0. Ball comes in. I think it's Trent or Virgil that handled the ball. It literally they've gone like that. They've leant down. It hit. Mane's just been booked by the way. Okay, oh my god, this is getting worse. Liverpool tonight. Change the players. Don't tackle ice midfield. Get him off because he's lost his head. But yeah, that wasn't given. VAR was in place last season. Yeah, but because literally in that same moment, in the aftermath, straight aftermath of that, and you're clearing it, you go up the other end and straight in that same action, go bang, 1-0 up with Fabinho. The referees and the VAR lot refused to go and look back at the penalty and give the penalty because a goal had been given. I mean, a goal had been scored, so they were reluctant. They weren't going to take a goal off for the sake of a chance of another goal at the other end. True story, they actually said that. So it sort of swings both ways, but yeah, Liverpool do have I've got to say, different competition and different authorities running the show here. But they do have an argument there. But again, it's UEFA's VAR system this season. Not also only this season really has been a bit dodgy. If I'm being honest, in some of its decisions. But Yeah. Oh. Man City going again. Look at the other game. Man City are all over Dortmund. It's still 1-0. But yeah, every now and then Dortmund get out and get a bit of attack, but nothing comes of it. Holland's getting no service. Yeah, Steve, they have. Big up Steve in the chat, by the way. Yeah, to be honest, that's what I'm saying. Even though I said just as the game was kicking off, it was all set up for Liverpool to go and do the business today and get their revenge for the Champions League final a few years back, with Ramos being there, etc., etc. Madrid have been up for it more, they've wanted it more, and they've attacked with more intent. Liverpool, there's been no intent in Liverpool's attack at all. Balls are going into the box, and it's been easy for lots of Courtois or their defence to just go, okay, boom, get rid of it. Oh dear. If Liverpool can still get away a goal, different complication of the tie, that's true. But I don't seem at this moment in time before half time, I don't see him doing. He does need to get the players in at half time now, the score as it is, and make substitutions. Get Firmino on, because they are suffering massively. There's no direct link at this moment in time, but it's not working what they've gone with so far. So they do need to make that change to have that sort of link between the midfield and attack. Oh no, subs are coming on now. Why are they going up? Kate has gone off again. Bit odd. Okay, Thiago has come on for Liverpool there, and maybe Kate has gone off. Okay, with a few minutes after the half. Oh, that's assault. Really, he had his arms around his neck at one point. Oh, not again! Not again! Got lucky there. Liverpool get. Oh, how did Asensio miss that? Steve again saying Wimbledon want to finish this tie in the first leg, especially since they've got the Clasico result. As I said earlier, Steve, I don't know if you're here. I will be covering the Clasico on Saturday evening here on the channel. So I hope to see you then for that one. Russ has joined us in the chat. Big up Russ. But before I go to his comment, literally thanking the chat saying Gareth Southgate was criticised for not selecting Trent. It was criticised, but you know what? I had to. You know what? For me, in terms of the form, he has to agree with him. I have to agree with what he did there, because Trent has been, to his standards that he's set, been poor. But in the end, they're saying that he hasn't actually picked. How can I put it? Other players out of form. But Liverpool got a free kick, a chance to get back into the tie itself before half time. Nice to see how we softened up Liverpool on Saturday. Yeah, got them off guard. And he went. They thought they were back in the game, sort of basically. Another call? No, free kick from Madrid. Would have been a call, but Madrid's player's gone down holding his knee, so he's got a free kick. Casemiro. Yeah, again, the ball there from Trent. What the fuck is that? The ball itself was piss poor anyway. Tomorrow I'm watching Bayern versus PSG. It's game of the day over. Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to be covering that game here as well. Bayern versus PSG, but also keeping an eye on the other game, obviously, just in case there's an upset there. But the main event, the main game we're covering here tomorrow is going to be Bayern versus PSG, or whatever way around it is. Lewandowski versus Mbappe and Neymar. And then it's going to be interesting because actually, even though they've got Poch in charge and they're not exactly running away with Liga. They lost at the weekend, I think 1-0. Was it 1-0 to Lille? But I think who was that I saying it to the other day? When that result came in, might be in the group chat. I was basically saying maybe the PSG owners stick to death of just winning the French league title every season, and possibly he's basically happy for one season only. He may be more than happy just to sacrifice the league title if it means the team he owns, obviously, or they own technically anyway. Get over the line in Europe and go that one step further this season and win the Champions League title. I mean, if PSG knock out fucking Bayern Munich, they should win the Champions League, really, because Bayern Munich are a fucking animal. Let's be honest. Since the turn of since obviously COVID hit Europe and the Premier League, like the football return and Champions League return for last season came about, Bayern Munich have been a different animal in Europe. So anyone that beats them and knocks them out of this competition deserves to go on to win it. Should go on to win it. Not deserve, but should go on to win it. It's half time, by the way. Which was just gone. Oh dear. Let's go back into the chat quickly. PSG could lose league. Lost 1-0. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Normally at this stage it's 1. Actually, last time PSG failed to win. The 2017 Monaco won it, yeah. And, ironically, Mbappe was at Monaco that time. That was the season when Monaco knocked us out of the Champions League and went to the quarterfinals or semi-finals, I think. And then in that summer they had a complete the likes of us, not us. But we looked into it. We didn't do anything. But Chelsea and other clubs around Europe just pinched all their best talent, and Monaco haven't been the same since. Okay. Literally, what? Oh, okay. It's just gone to adverts, and for the both games, respectively, 1-0 Man City and 2-0 Real Madrid. And the first thing that's come up on the screen is the Arsenal Man City FA Cup semi-final for 2017. Oh dear. Yeah, the standing is Mark saying in the chat, Lille are top. PSG, Monaco, and Lyon 3 points behind them all. Between them all, sorry. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh, John's trying to send out. Big up, John. How you doing, mate? You haven't missed much. You've basically all you've missed, John, is literally Liverpool defending like Arsenal. That's saying something. Because we didn't even bother to lay a glove on the bastards at the weekend. Just imagine what a top manager would have done at Arsenal at the weekend, setting up a team to go for the jugular and test Liverpool and run them ragged. What could have happened? Didn't you realise what we're dealing with now? Oh dear, turn this off anyway, phone anyway, because drain my battery, I don't need that. Doo-doo. Oh, one second. Right, do smash up them lights, guys. Because again, as I always say, it does help the channel break the YouTube algorithm and get actually more recognised and more put out there by YouTube and recommended by YouTube to other people that have never come across the channel before. They get new faces, new regulars, and build up the community even quicker, and all that jazz. Steve's saying in La Liga, I hope Atletico Madrid win. Let me change your screen for a second. Let me just sort this out, see if I can. Nope, it will not change unless I have someone else on, apparently. Surely it should change though. Let me adjust the. Oh, apparently not. Here's what it is. In the Liga, I hope Atletico win the league. They deserve more respect on their name in the Liga. They say two big clubs, Real Barca. For me, Spain has three top teams. True, but as I was saying earlier, before you've come along, they've literally from day one been top of La Liga. To the point where they had a 10, 12-point gap between them, Barca and Real Madrid. And within the last month and a half, that lead has gone. And it's now literally, because of last night's result, a point in it. What could help them is if they win on Sunday, but before that, the Clasico on Saturday, which again I'll be covering on the channel as well. But that may help be a benefit to them, no matter what the result is, because then if it's a draw, Barca will go top for at least 24 hours on goal difference. Atletico then have to win against Real Betis on Sunday to go 3 points clear. And this will build a bit of a gap again, but after that, they can't afford. They cannot afford to drop any more points. Yeah, whoever wins, they need whatever the result on Saturday, Del Clasico. Atletico then have to go and win the next day. They have to win, and they have to win every game until the other two teams start to feel a bit more. Because if Atletico bottle La Liga now, after, as I said, being top from day one, and obviously Real Madrid or Barca go on to win it, Atletico fans are going to ask questions of Simeone and the team and say maybe it is time for him to move on. And you can't argue against it. He's been there 10 years now. This will be this is their best chance of getting their second league title in that time frame as well. They got to 2 Champions League finals in the space of 3 years as well, and lost them both to the same team. One of them, it's the first one. It's seconds away from winning their first ever Champions League title against Real Madrid and stopping Real Madrid from getting the decima that season. And we all know what happened there. Seconds away, and Ramos, of all people, bang, 1-1 extra time, and then literally Atletico fell apart in extra time. It's what was it, 4-1 in the end? 3-1, 3-1 or 4-2, one of the two. Something like that. Oh, bloody hell. Tony's in the big up, Tony, saying quadruple for Man City. I don't think they will. I still don't think they'll win the quadruple. Obviously, the league's wrapped up. They're going to win the League Cup, because from what we're seeing of their final opponents for the League Cup, and it's Tottenham as well. They always Spurs it up, but I'm not seeing anything that's going to put any frighteners at me. Let's be honest. I think, oh God, this could go either way. So, oh no, that 12-year drought's coming to an end, or whatever, how long it's been. They're going to have a better season, that's all that jazz. FA Cup, who's got the FA Cup now? I'm trying to think. They've got Chelsea, haven't they? Oh, that could be interesting. So Chelsea to the FA Cup is going to be interesting. Obviously, if they win the semi-final against Chelsea, yeah, it's theirs to lose. That's obviously, because obviously the opponents of the final, Southampton or bloody no, it's Southampton or Leicester, yeah. Leicester aren't good enough. We've seen that. Literally just this weekend, Leicester v Man City. Leicester just parked the bus. He didn't bother trying. So Leicester Man City final, you know, Man City will tear them apart. Man City will tear Southampton apart as well. The only thing that's stopping them from winning the FA Cup is Chelsea, ironically. And Champions League, I don't think they will. I think obviously if they get through this round, because of the Aguero factor, and obviously him famously saying, "I'll never leave Man City until we win the Champions League. That's going to get more. The closer they get to the semi-final, they get to the semi-final and the final, respectively. Getting to the semi-final itself, then that quote will be intensified even more by the media and everyone around them, and they'll be made aware of it. And if they get to the final itself, it'll be tenfold, and that pressure. I just don't think they will. The occasion will get to them, and they won't play the occasion, and they're just like, oh no, what do we do? And then, as we know, and I think there's other, because I said you got PSG, Bayern Munich way ahead of them. In that sense, from a European standpoint, I'm trying to think, where's the draw made up as well? Because they'd have to, if they get through, they'd have to play either Bayern or PSG in the semi-final. And then in the final itself, they either have to play Real Madrid, Liverpool, or Chelsea, Porto. If it's Porto versus Man City final, then yeah, Man City are going to win it because it's Man City. Look at the talent they have at their disposal in that sense compared to Porto. And this won't be the same for Porto like it was in 2004 when they got to the Champions League final where it was them versus Monaco. It was 50-50. This is going to be, they're going to be complete underdogs for that if that was the case. Every other team in this competition, bar Porto, if it was they get to the final along with City, one of them got to the final plus City, so in this case, Madrid, Liverpool, or Chelsea, they will give them a game. And let's not forget, Madrid, Liverpool, respective of Madrid are season pros, are literally the number one team in the competition in its history. In terms of the English team dominating the Champions League, Liverpool, and also Chelsea as a club have got recent history of winning the competition. What the hell happened at the weekend? I don't know. Literally went down to 10 men and they just fell to pieces. Tactically, fucking Tuchel completely fucked it. Because even with 10 men against the West at home or away to West Bromwich Albion, they should not be conceding 5 goals. They're losing. I'm sorry. Liverpool certainly need an away goal, if not going to be tough. Oh, it's going to be extremely tough. And you've got to remember that because of obviously restrictions and what to think. Everyone's got to play behind closed doors. Sorry, there's no Anfield atmosphere. There's no fans at Anfield this time to save them, like there was with them against Barcelona a couple of years back when they were 3-0 down after the first leg. They don't have that. It's going to be dead silence. And as we've seen the second half of the season anyway, Liverpool has struggled with that atmosphere, their fans in the Anfield or Anfield. Steve's asking for top 4 predictions. John's given his. He says Man City, United, Leicester. He says Liverpool get the 4th spot. I'm going to go a bit out there, actually. I'm going to test the waters. Be a bit different. I think the first 3 I agree with. I think Man City will win the title. United, Leicester be 3rd or 2nd, respectively, between them. I think 4th will be nicked by I think the West Ham will nick 4th. It'll go down. 4th spot will go down to the last day between West Ham, Liverpool, Chelsea, possibly, depending on their running as well. And how far they go in the competition depends on how they do in the league. Got to remember that. So between them, I don't think Tottenham. I think Tottenham have fucked it now. After this week, it's just gone. So I think between Liverpool, Chelsea, West Ham, it'll go down to the last game, but West Ham will be in that 4th spot. It'll be in their hands, and I say they'll be like a point ahead, maybe, but it'll be in it'll be theirs to lose, basically, as long as they don't, for example, lose or match Chelsea, as long as they match Chelsea Liverpool's results or don't lose, I think that's what's going to get them over the line. You know what? Fair play to them. No matter what happens, even if they don't, but I think they might just. I think last night was telling because they went 3-0 up. Obviously, they conceded 2. It could have gone back to what we saw a few weeks ago against Arsenal. The fact they held on, they weren't struggling. They weren't like, oh, come at us, Wolves, and then they did play good. They did play a good game, even at 3-2. They did take it to Wolves, this, that, and the other. They held on. They showed the mentality to not let the last what happened previously get in their heads, basically. So I think that sort of helps. If they'd blown another 3-0 lead back to back in the league, that would have quashed it for mentally. That would have gone, that it was seeped in and this, that, and the other, blah blah blah. But they didn't blow it. They got out of the 3 points, knowing obviously the pressure that was there of if they win them in top 4 for the next few days at least. Yeah, but yeah, as I said, no matter what happens, they're going to get European football looks at it. Unless they have a complete meltdown. Teams will come back out, by the way. Doesn't look like there's any subs being made by the looks of it, which is just a bit concerning, really, considering. But oh dear. I do think they'll get over the line, and even if they don't, they get Europa League football instead next season. Considering even they're not just us neutral fans, but even their fan bases themselves, who are hell bent believed that this season was going to be one hell of a long season. They're going to be in a relegation scrap and this, that, and the other. I mean, we consider all the rumours that David Moyes had fallen out with Sullivan and Gold, and that they were looking to sack him days before the season started and all that. To be where they are now is with what 8 games to go, 9 games to go. Is like 7 games to go. Absolutely amazing. Even they'll say that they wouldn't have ever expected this. But the kickoff, by the way, in the second half just happened. But just finishing off on West Ham, possibly in my opinion, getting top 4, getting that remaining 4 spot. The one drawback is, in one sense, even though it's going to be great for the club itself and putting them on the map for a season, at least on the European stage, and gives them more of a chance to attract more players to come to their club because they've got that attraction of European football. And going by what I've just said, they'll be the only London club in Champions League on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, unless we win the Europa League ourselves, which I don't see happening. It's going to put it's going to put pressure on Gold and Sullivan going forward when the fans are back in to keep this make sure this season isn't one off. They don't seep back into what was before in the relegation scrap, basically. Also, my granddad and my uncle, my cousin will be absolutely fucking ecstatic. My granddad is in his 80s, so I don't think even he would have thought he would ever get to see his team win Champions League. Let alone, that'd be mad. No, what if they actually, you know what? If West don't actually get a top 4 spot and actually qualify for the Champions, because I think fourth still have to do a qualifying game, don't they? Unless they've changed the rules again. I will do what I can to get Granddad, between us, myself, cousin, and all that. Take my granddad to a couple of games, the group games, at home. If obviously permitted, we are allowed to by then. And the government don't fuck us over again. Touch wood. Because that would be like the cheering the cake, not for the West Ham fans in general, but especially for the older generation, just to see their team at the top table of European football competing. That would be mad. And knowing no matter what happens watching the group stage, even if you don't make it make it into the next round of the Champions League itself, you've got your Open League and the conference thing to fall back on anyway. Depending on your third or fourth, whatever. And Frankie says this lockdown is never ending. The thing is, it ends, and because of how, especially from our perspective, and here in the UK, our government runs shit and deals with it all. They release everything, open up. Even though they do it in stages. This, that, and the other. It's every stage. If you look at it, there's too much reopening at every stage in one hit in such a short amount of time as well. It's like as of this Monday coming, you got quite a bit opening up here in the UK. Hairdressers, you go to the pub if you have a drink outdoors, like in beer gardens and all that malarkey. I think beauty, like the beauty spas and all that are opening back up. Gyms are back and opening back up. Certain shops are opening back up as well. And then that, like 3 to 4 weeks later, another stage, and then another stage, and then another stage. And literally, even today, there's talk. We've got experts actually working within the science of this, all actually doing all the science behind it, trying to guide the government, trying to bring the operative word here, are saying because of how he's doing it, not just him, the government itself, the whole lot of them are forcing things to be as rather quick as possible, opening back up. A third wave is expected, literally, by the end of August, early September. And I wouldn't mind the R number itself as well is only just below the one, whatever that is. For everyone that lives in the UK, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, need to go back into the chat. Oh, is there a goal at Liverpool? Is there an actual goal? I've seen Steve's comment in the chat, so that must be. Jota. Oh no. Salah. Oh, there's a goal, but was he offside? Liverpool may have the away goal here. There's going to be a check, I'm assuming. Got a bit of luck there, that does count, but let's see if they check this or not. Someone's been booked, by the way. Does look like it's going to count. So for now, I'm going to change the scoreline on screen. Oh, and as I do that, it freezes. No, he's been paid onside. He's fine. That's why he didn't. Because the angle we initially see does look a bit. Stefan saying, "Painted the vax we've just had. I've only had the first of 2 jabs myself. I know someone has had their second jab today, actually. But yeah, even though they've rolled it out because they're people in the government, people within the Tory party itself are putting pressure on the people higher up than them to allow everyone to sort of go back and forth, this, that, and the other. They want people to travel abroad and get that side of the economy going again rather quickly. even in countries like France, Spain, Germany, the anti-vaccine, the countries that are totally against vaccination, basically, the goal's got to have stood, surely. Yep, 100%. They even want us to travel to them sort of countries as well. As I said, get the economy going, that's like the travel industry going, and all that malarkey. What's going to happen? Idiots will go, okay, sure, yay, haven't been on holiday abroad for a year. We deserve this. Let's go online and book a flight to France, Germany, Spain, etc., anywhere in the world. And what will happen? They will contract a variant of the virus from that said country without knowing as well, and bring it back here. And what's going to happen? Look what we had back in January, early February, with we had the Brazil variant where we didn't even know who the person was. But out of 5 people, one person they couldn't track, and that was the one person spreading that part of the virus. You had an African variant of the virus before Christmas, which was the one that took hold and pretty much put us into this situation again of lockdown for 4.5 months. And yeah, you said this vaccine apparently isn't literally is going to be null and void with this next wave. Apparently, if this next wave does happen, which is a very very high chance of it happening, very high. It's like 0.1% of it not happening, basically, and hitting these shores. Lockdown number, how many now by then? Fuck's sake. Officially lockdown 4 or 3, whatever way we want to look at it. If you want to include the tiering system bollocks, the 1, 2, 3 tier bollocks, then this will be that would then ensure a full lockdown. And guess what? They're all back indoors again for 4.5 months. Guess what? Just before Christmas, about mid-November, December time, mid to late November, you can go out again, guys. It's okay now. And then literally just before 2 weeks, week or 2 weeks before Christmas, bang! Got to do what you did last year, guys. Stay at home. Don't travel. You can have you can travel Christmas Day, but you can't stay, and all that bollocks. And then New Year 2022, yay! Lockdown again. You know it's happening. You absolutely know it's happening. Footballers are allowed to fly all over the world. Yeah, I don't agree with it though. Like for me personally, international football should never have resumed until this whole global pandemic was nipped in the bud and it was safe for everyone to travel, not just because footballers, because they are athletes, that's okay. Like, what the fuck? What is the difference between an athlete travelling abroad and us? Hence why people are getting frustrated. Well, hang on, they can travel, but we can't. And for me, again, even though I'm doing these watchalongs for these Champions Leagues this season, I don't actually believe it should have got. They should have done. The competition should have took a year off, basically, at least. It's the flu rebranded. Yeah, basically. Oh dear, make me giggle. Oh dear. BBC are going back on COVID. Initially, they said it was not. Now they say it has yet to disproven. Depends what they get told and what they want to put out there. But the media? The government aren't helping things, but how they're dealing with it in the first place. And then also they're not reassuring. Going, actually, the media are lying to you guys. They're actually jumping on board and going, of course, yeah. I mean, literally, he comes out and said, I mean, in every pandemic, you get 3 waves if it ain't dealt with properly, like we're seeing. The only way you don't get a 3rd wave is if you do what the likes of Australia and New Zealand have done and nip it in the bud straight from the off and raw with an iron fist. And even with one case, just go bang, knock down, until everything's back to normal, and then ease slowly, not go bang, hi. Ease yourselves back into normality and releasing things slowly, not to this rate. Boris and his lot are always hell bent on doing. Because if you look at it, all he's doing is literally what he did last year. Not this time last year, obviously, but last summer when he started releasing things back up, opening things back up. We have a plan, boy, and everything will be reopened. Like the gyms will be open and pubs. You can go back to them from October. What happened was we were back in the we're allowed back in pubs and gyms by like late July, early August, if not even earlier than that. And look what happened. And in the process of all that, opening things back up, everyone and their mums basically flocked to the beaches, flocked to the parks in their fucking hundreds, like they've done recently as well. And look what happened. The numbers started creeping back up again. And people go, well, they didn't have a vaccine back then. We have a vaccine. There's another thing about this media. They go, well, the media as well. Like, well, they're doing it now, but they've had the vaccine, so they'll be fine now. Or because you're not an elderly person, you might get it, but you won't die from it. People thick, and they believe this bollocks. People have actually, of my age group, younger and above, not elderly, have actually contracted this virus and actually died. When they did before the first lockdown this time last year, when the first lockdown happened, before that, literally about 3-4 weeks before it all went off over in the UK, you had boys going on national TV going, I went to hospitals, I'm shaking hands with I'm shaking hands with everyone, even COVID patients, It's nothing. People believed it. And look where we are. But hey, it is what it is. Less said about that, the better. But I think, yeah, Bernie did say something about West Ham in the chat. I need to go find it again. So do bear with. Like just 6-0 up. Literally, Knights are coming back up. But yeah, this is, I was saying earlier, it does annoy me that the team can deliberately will come up after years of not being a Premier League club because of the parachute payment method. Or take the risk of going back down again, take the hit, go down. No, they get parachute payments anyway. Big, massive payments from being a Premier League club and going down and whatever, parachute payments. Because like Newcastle would get when they went down. Or any club basically goes down from Premier League. And now they'll go away, keep most of the core of their squad on their set wages that they've been bumped up to when they first got promoted to the Premier League that season itself. And then sort of go out, get promoted again, and then use that season, or as of in this case, Knights would be for next season. They'll use next season as the settling season to stay in the Premier League, and then from that do what Burnley have done. Because Burnley did when Burnley first came up with Sean Dyche that first time round. From day one, he accepted they were going down. He didn't bother put up a fight. And then used that season back in the Championship to go flying back up, like Norwich are doing now, dominate the league because of the financial firepower they have compared to others, and that because of that, the players they can sort of attract better that can get them out, keep them, make sure they got over the line basically, like they have done now, and get them ready for next season. And because of that, they've had that initial season before or been a Premier League club, they'll be ready compared to the first time round. I mean, what you could argue if it was like years up, say 10, 15 years ago, and before parachute payments came into place for the Premier League, the likes of a Norwich coming up the way they did after a few years, or Sheffield United. Well, Sheffield United actually gave a fight. At least with Sheffield United last season, they actually, you know what, they turned up every game and gave it their all. Hence why they finished where they finished last season. And because obviously, even though we're seeing this season, they're sort of falling off big time, you can still say could have had that extra season at the Premier League level. Sort of have more respect for them because they've actually given it a fight. Even this season, they've started off dodgy. Don't get me wrong; it took them a while to sort of start fighting again, but they were until Wilder got sacked anyway. But yeah, I have more respect for that because at least you've tried. Whereas I was saying, before you could argue before the parachute payments were brought in, the likes of Knights and Burnley when Sean Dyche. Oh, here we go. It could be 3-1. Oh, he fucked it. Asensio fucked it there. You could argue actually then them teams like Knights when they come up when they did would have actually given them more of a fight and actually, you know what, we have something to fight for because they ain't got a parachute that financial packet if we go down straight away sort of thing in place. They would give a shit and actually try to stay in the league from day one, not just go, oh, it's like we'll go down this season, come back to following and go from there and build a platform from there. It does for me, it does my head in that seeing that one team going up, down, up, down, up, down. 3-1 Real Madrid, by the way. Vinicius has just scored. Yeah. Oh my God, what was that for goal? What was that from Becker? The Great War of COVID. Oh dear. 3-1 Real Madrid now. But the thing is, Liverpool got the away goal. This is not 3-0. So all they have to do as it stands is still win. They still have to win by 2 clear goals as it stands. In the next leg at Anfield, but it's going to be hard, isn't it? But that's poor, again, I'm sorry, that's poor goalkeeping. Deflection or not, that's the poor goalkeeping from Alisson. It's literally at his near post. It's not like he's had to dive across the goal to get to it. It's right at him, basically. Oh, Vinicius. Disappointing to get the game back on. But yeah, let's get away from the politics of the world and COVID and all that. Every time I do a watch, we always when it's on my own, we always sort of somehow get onto the conversation of fucking COVID and national lockdowns. Oh, surely not. No. Why is Firmino still not on, by the way? This is mad. Liverpool defensively all over the place tonight. So, hence by the scoreline, but still. I still don't get why fucking Firmino's still not on the pitch. I mean, at this moment in time, as I said earlier, first off, I would sacrifice either Fabinho or Wijnaldum to bring on Bobby Firmino. Out of the two, I'd actually lean towards taking Wijnaldum off because out of the two, he's been the poorer. You sort of do need that defensive shield in your midfield still. Taking Fabinho out the equation, you've got no defensive shield really in that midfield. Real Madrid 14 shots, 6 on target. Liverpool 3, 1 shot on target. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, Frankie. Literally, to be fair, Madrid deserve to be winning the game. Don't get me wrong, but Liverpool been literally. I don't know if you've seen all the goals so far, but Liverpool been all over the place. I mean, the second goal was the worst out of the lot. Trent, what the hell was Trent doing? I don't know. 7-0 now, Norwich. We won 7-0. We're going up. But I will say this, obviously Norwich are coming back up. It is what it is. I know it's not a step in and Alex Griffin won't want to hear that. They are coming back up to the Premier League for another season. But it does mean they're going to have to use these parachute payments they're getting. They've got since getting relegated last season to financially strengthen that team and get a better striker. Because Pukki, with all due respect, last season, Pukki actually showed Premier League is too much for him. Championship is his level because he started off well and then he just went to shit in the Premier League last year. Went to nothing. This season, back in the Championship, it's going for fun again. So that season, Championship is the highest level in England he can play at and perform at, so to speak. So they do need to go and get a better striker out there. I know it's going to be hard for a team like Norwich because of where they are, this, that, and the other, and also they're not in an established Premier League team. But they have to scout. Use a scouting system. He used it to get fucking Pukki in the first place. Let's be honest. Just improving what he got, and this is also you got to remember you've got an Asian squad now as well. In the likes of Pukki. Pukki's not getting any younger either, anyway. So otherwise, if they don't go and do that, for example, it's going to be another long season. Oh, so it's kicking off. There's a sub been happening, by the way, but refs getting involved in a little scrap between Trent and Vinicius. Having a bit of a shoulder barge between each other, both showing each other in the chest and the back, you name it. Still, also, by the way, it's still 1-0 Man City in the other game, by the way, tonight. But Essentially has gone off for. Keep still. I can't see his name, so. Stefan saying daily government updates on analytics are imminent. Not likely. It is what it is. Sort of numb to it now. So it's like, yeah, cool. Fucking Madrid got a bit lucky there. But yeah, as I say, Man City still 1-0. To be fair to Dortmund, they're not getting battered. If they can take this back to Dortmund as it is, or even better, 1-1 draw. As long as they're in the tie for a second, I still think they have a chance of causing an upset. And Jeremy Goss has just scored. Oh my god. Oh dear. Just adjust myself so I don't break anything. Right. That's right, Jimmy Goss body. Yeah. Brownie, have you been able to calm down from the weekend and whatever happened in Sheffield with your lot? Because that was, I didn't expect. I knew you were playing. I knew they went 1-0 up early on, and I was like, okay, just whatever. Then about, I think now. I think it was after the Watchalong. Yeah, it was obviously after Watchalong I found out. But literally, I was like, oh yeah, what the fuck's got Cardiff? Expecting you the guys to come back and win. In the end, because where Sheffield Wednesday were, in there, even though they are where they are playing better football now under Darren Moore. It's just you had something to fight for as well. But I saw 5, bloody hell. And I saw your vid as well. I did watch your vid, by the way, about it. But yeah, that was mad. But you know what? I wouldn't lose faith in. Wouldn't lose faith in Mick McCarthy. By the way, it's one game. It isn't the end of the world. You weren't expecting to go up anyway. Just get as high as you can in the league, obviously, for this season. But then come the end of the season, get Mick McCarthy and give him a 1 year rolling contract. Like, give him that season, does well, reward him for that. If not, you can still, the last few months, look into replacing him in this, that, and the other. What was the Brentford score, by the way? Because that finished earlier on. It was 0-0 when I last saw it, but 50 minutes to go. That was a while ago. I can't check now, but yeah. Because that was 0-0 against Birmingham City. Brentford, how is it Brentford can bottle things like they do? How many fucking bites at the cherry do they want before they start declining as a squad as it is, and then find themselves fighting to stay up? Oh, look now, actually. Except 0-0 it finished. Brentford are oh my god. Brentford are actually bottling automatic promotion again. Second year in a row. Yet Thomas Frank will keep it. That's the case. Thomas Frank has got to go. But he's been offered it, but has he signed it? Has he actually signed the deal though? I didn't know that, but if he's offered it, that's offering. As long as he has actually signed it. Yeah, Brentford. Start of the season, I thought they'd be top, one of the top two. I wouldn't say they would be runaway leaders or anything like that. I thought they'd automatically come up, but it looked like at the stage they were going to be. It's going to be them and Norwich coming back up automatically. And in the last fucking few months, they have just been fucking so consistently inconsistent. It is unreal. Yeah, he signed it. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. He signed it. Didn't Brentford just build a new stadium? They've moved into it this season. This is their first season in their new stadium as well. They've had no fans in either at all. But last season, it was their last season at Griffin Park, or whatever it was called. And you thought that would have been, because of the situation they found themselves in, that was perfect for them just to end that era of their club's history. Or was it 2-0 now? Someone said. No, just wide. It was the end of the era for that part of Brentford's history. Perfect way to not just end it, but then start the next chapter of the club's history and Premier League level, blah, blah, blah. And you couldn't have asked for an easier fucking final either, let's be honest, because Fulham, out of the teams in the playoffs, Fulham weren't the most consistent. They went into the worst form ever Fulham did. Whereas Brentford they did bottle it in the last day, going up automatically, but they still got themselves together over the playoffs and got to the final, deservingly so. Actually putting Swansea to the sword in the process. And then obviously Fulham knocked out the favourites of their time. They went through as underdogs and got to the final as underdogs. But that was a poor championship final though to watch. I actually watched it. I actually fell asleep at one point. Genuinely fell asleep for like 40 minutes. And I literally only woke up as the final whistle was going end of normal time before extra time happened. And I didn't miss nothing as I found out. And then literally one David Raya and a freak goal. That freak goal of fucking Bryant, whatever his name is. Fucking hell. At no point in that player final, I think, from what I watched and what I then watched back, could you say Brentford deserved to win it? Because they didn't go for it. And in this season, yeah, they lost Ollie Watkins after the player final to Aston Villa, obviously for 30 million, but they replaced him with Ivan Toney. And they started off the season well. They're up there in the automatic spots for most of the season. Then literally turn the year, about late January, early February. Since then, they have been absolutely abysmal, dropping points where they shouldn't be dropping points. Draw or losing, and winning games they shouldn't be winning anyway. But the consistency is mad. And then tonight, literally Birmingham City. Although Birmingham City have got a bit of a new manager bounce and all that malarkey. You believe in all that bollocks. But even still, come on, you're at home. It's like they're falling off the mark. And I do think if they fully bottle it, don't get promoted again this season, not only do you have to call into question the manager there, but I think then their players, the likes of Ivan Toney and all that, will then go, okay, bye-bye. And actually go to either another championship club that will have the ambition and that the bigger chance to get promoted next season, or go with one of the clubs that have been promoted this season, be it Watford, Norwich, or whatever. But yeah, it does look like Watford might actually nick that second spot by the looks of it, because they've hit form recently. Got some good form, and the results have gone in their favour as well. Like tonight, bar Norwich, obviously. Yeah, that was probably needs to. No, they won't. No. I've said that before, but yeah, Timothy, we've got literally 11 minutes plus injury time to go, by the way. And Liverpool just knock out of it. Madrid have dominated pretty much, apart from 15, 20 minutes of the second half. Either side of that, Madrid have dominated this game and deserve to be winning. Let's be honest. But it's defensive overs, defensive fuck-ups from Liverpool that have put themselves in this position tonight. Because it wasn't for the fuck-ups. I still don't understand why Firmino had to come on, by the way. But if it wasn't for them 3 fuck-ups, they wouldn't be losing. That's what's put them in this position. Madrid on the attack again. Would it be 4-1? Oh, Phillips was that Phillips? Got a touch to that? Oh, dear. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, what's going on now? So he's taken off his centre back. Or Firmino is coming on now with literally 10 minutes left, or 9.5 technically. Yotta's come off for him, and the centre back's gone on for come off for Shaqiri, the guy I got from Schalke. And Shaqiri's gone, so he's gone out for more of he's trying to get another goal, basically. That's what he's trying to do. Try and lessen the damage. Oh, unlucky Dortmund. Haaland was unlucky. They're getting sandwiched out of that. It says something when you would say Dortmund are a weaker team compared to Liverpool, and Dortmund are actually defending and playing better considering who they're playing, and they're away from home tonight as well. Why the hell did Klopp wait so long to make the changes? Maybe Mikel Arteta's possessed him. Got a bloody voodoo doll possessing him from London. You bastard beat me 3-0, how dare you? I'll teach you. Oh dear. No, he hasn't, to be honest, but literally, as I said, a couple minutes or so ago, did have a chance to put some pressure on, but bounce was against, everything was against him. He got Samuels out of it, and it was easy for the keeper in the end. Oh, who's getting booked now? Trent's been booked. I'm assuming for discipline. The idiot. An Arteta tribute act. Won't surprise me. Oh, pretty much Arteta subs as well, let's be honest. Leave it to the last minute. We're out of the game, so we'll leave it to the last minute to make attacking subs. When we're literally out of the game, we're losing by, in this case, 3-1. With minutes to go. So you know what? I'll now make the attacking subs and put them on now. Dortmund 1-0. Get in there, Dortmund. Go on. That's it now. Ruiz. Oh, yes, the away goal. Nice. That's actually some good football, actually. Well done, Dortmund. Royce, how you pronounce it. Well done. You know what? Even though they haven't, yes, it's been a 50-50 game in Man City, have dominated possession, this, that, and the other. I'm going to say Dortmund deserved that at least to keep it, and also keep the scoreline at one. Even at 1-0, their heads didn't drop mentally, and this, that, and the other. They kept themselves in the game. So you know what? Hats off to them for that. That's a really good build-up play. That's a really, really good goal, actually. Rolling back the years there, that was. So that's great. That is not only that's just game on. That's tie back on now. That's the away goal. So now City have to go there full team and all guns blazing, basically, for the second leg. Is it next week? Second leg? I think so. I think it is. So that's going to be interesting. Apart from the Spuds. Always want English clubs to do well apart from the Spuds, of course. And now we don't have to worry about that because they got knocked out by Kiev, sorry. Who we could possibly face in the semi-final if they knock out Villarreal. And if we knock out Slavia, obviously. I'm telling you now, I'm preparing you all now. Thursday is going to be an absolute fucking grind. Arsenal fan or as a neutral watching it. We're going to make so much hard work of that game. You won't believe it. I'll be surprised. With the talent we have, the players we have, the talent we have, I shouldn't be surprised what I'm about to say, but I will be because of how this season's gone. I will be 100% surprised if by the full time we saw on Thursday, if the tie is pretty much all but done. Say we win the game 3-4-0, I'll be surprised. Just because of based on how we've been this season. We just haven't turned up. Even in the group stages. And the thing is, the group stages actually played better football in the group stages of the Europa League with our B team, for fuck's sake, and youth players. The irony, and yet fucking consistently, Premier League, oh no, we're consistent. The players that are constantly letting us down. Oh, I fell into Formula. Fuck it. Don't want that. Don't want to win the Formula. I want to make it hard for us. I want to get sacked. I want a severance pay and all that jazz. Oh my god, what was that? Yo, Marley's fucked it. Has he? Yo. I saw there's a foul. No, Dortmund scored again. No way. Maybe Arsenal got this far. You're saying what was that, 45? 40? No way, they just scored on it. That's the case, that's a counter attack because I'm literally just in the Man City corner on my phone. One set. I've got the main game on the TV here, and then look at the game here. Let's have a look. bouncy word pass here. Bloody hell! There's no way you're putting my leg, aren't you? Dortmund is still 1-1, yeah. Because I'm literally watching the game and it's Dortmund defending. Cheeky bastard. Even though he's behind them, further behind on his stream than what I am. Maybe he's just seen the goal or something, I don't know. That would have been mad if that was the case. Every game for Arsenal tough at the moment. Yeah, of course, that's what I'm saying. Bloody hell. Shivers. Someone's just walking on mock grave. Wherever that may be. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Literally, I'll be surprised if we win 3 or 4-0 on Thursday. I will be surprised based on the way we've been playing this season. We have not made light work of anyone this season. Let's be honest, apart from West Brom away, and that was in the fucking snow. But yeah, apart from them, we've made hard work of every fucking game. That's what I'm saying. Stephen saying he's made Arsenal got this far. To be honest, based on the draw we've had up to this point, in terms of Benfica first and then Olympiacos the last round, I'm surprised. Especially when fucking the second leg of the Benfica game, away game, we were literally minutes away from being knocked out on the away goal rule. Minutes. And then, ironically, Aubameyang has been one of our worst players this season. Decided actually to show up and save us. And Mod acting in such a manner outrageous. Yeah, Steve. Every club seem to buy their way to success now. Of course, that's the way it is. 2-1 City. Oh, 2-1 City now. Okay. Either way, that's not a bad. Yeah, Man City have on Foden scored. Yeah, Man City will win, but Dortmund have the away goal now. All they have to do is go 1-0 up in the second, score a goal, and not concede. And I know that's hard to do. It was Man City who's got the talent of Man City coming at you, but it's possible. Anything's possible. I mean, we have seen in the I think how many years has it been in? This is what 4th season? No, I'm trying to think now. 5th season, isn't it, Pep? But every season, his team has been knocked out at this stage or the next stage against, with all due respect, weaker opposition. Because tactically, he gets cocked of himself and fucks things up. So, tactically, he could fuck this up. And because of the away goal now, it's still game on. Let's be honest. Exactly, Stefan. City's still got to go and score to kill the tie. And not just once either. Because of the away goal, they have to score at least 2 early goals, and that would kill the tie really. 4 minutes left of this game, by the way. 3 minutes in the Man City game. This is going to be a 3-1, isn't it? It's not, but can't see, buddy. Man City needed that goal. Still got what to do in the second leg. Oh, that's what I'm saying, yeah, because of the away goal now. Yeah, if it was 2-0, then obviously it'd be sort of 1 foot in the semi-final, so to speak. But because that away goal changes everything. And Dortmund will be up for it. Don't get me wrong. Because of the lack of chances Haaland's had tonight, he'll be even more pumped himself, assuming he doesn't get injured between now and next week. Dortmund will favour the chances. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because of the way, I keep going back to the away goal. Because of that away goal, and they will do. Of course they will. Be mad not to. And as I said, when they look back over the last the recent seasons, the last 4 seasons, Champions League football, and who's knocked out Man City, of course they're going to fancy their chances in the second leg. Fans or no fans. Seconds left in Manchester. Real Madrid favourite to go through against Liverpool. Zinedine Zidane's record in the Champions League is awesome. Apart from last season. Was he there last season? I think now. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Yeah, so apart from last season, it was a bit. They sort of went out early. They went out early, didn't they? Real Madrid. What I can remember, anyway. Fucking Liverpool getting nothing on the edge of that box, are they? Fucking hell. Minute and a half left. Man City's now finished. Man City 2, Dortmund 1. But, kudos to Dortmund there, getting that away goal. Even though they did concede and then they did drop off and concede at the end. They're still giving themselves a fighting chance for next week's game. I think it's next week anyway. Have a look now, actually. Yeah, do you stop talking politics because someone clearly doesn't like it? Whenever I do watch-alongs and COVID comes up and lockdown or whatever, always get a dislike. It doesn't bother me because it does help, but I'm just saying, it's just like, okay, cool. Because when I do it is because when I do Arsenal watch-alongs, it doesn't really come up that much compared to what we've done tonight and other neutral watch-alongs. And yeah, full time in Madrid as well. 3-1. Bloody hell. So yeah, in the Arsenal watch-alongs, I'm getting no dislikes at the moment. Touch wood. And yeah, so I need to sort of curb that. Obviously, hopefully tomorrow I won't have to talk about it again. Don't bring it up. That's our task for tomorrow. We don't bring up COVID or fucking national lockdown bollocks or the government or any politics bollocks. Oh dear. So yeah, Liverpool first leg out the way now. Got the away goal Liverpool, but they've bottled it really because this is a big opportunity for them. Considering they're no Ramos, Real Madrid. There's someone else missing. I can't remember who it was now. And Liverpool just didn't bother today. Not really, apart from 15 minutes of the second half. Didn't really show up. But in that 15 minutes they showed. If they had kept up that level, they would have given Real Madrid more of a hiding tonight. Not hiding, but more of a battle, basically. Whereas they just like, And then obviously Madrid got that third goal. It sort of killed this leg anyway. And yeah, Liverpool have it all to do. And like we've been saying throughout the whole stream, they ain't going to have the Anfield atmosphere, their fans there in the second leg to push them over the line and get them over the line, basically. And Klopp's having a whinge at the referee, as always, when he seems to lose. Yeah, let's have a little cry, yeah? Oh, dear. We could talk about old TV shows. Anyway, we'll say that for tomorrow. I'll get someone to come on. We'll do that tomorrow. Old TV, half an hour. Confuse Gary. Can you imagine the English media of no English team club progress to the next round of Champions League? Oh my God, it'd be a meltdown. It'd be an absolute disgrace. Absolute, you name it. Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool would have every name under the sun thrown at them by the English media. Of course, if we don't make it through, we'll get even if we get past Lavia, or for example, got to the final, only that last English team standing in the European competition, both Champions League or Europa League, last team standing English-wise, we would get slated. We would get the worst of it, even though we've done the best of the best for England this season, if that was the case. Oh dear. Gotta laugh. That's because then when we lost the Champions League final in 2006, the media had no, even though we were robbed, and I stand by it. The equalising goals were never counted because Henrik Larsson, as he got not Henrik Larsson himself, but as Henrik Larsson goes to play the ball to Samuel Eto'o is offside. He goes to score the equalising goal, which then changes the momentum of the game because if that gets ruled out for offside, as it should have done, it stays 1-0, still with, by then it would have been 14, 30 minutes to go. Our heads don't then drop because of the fight we've had to put on. We still give it a 1-0. And then that Belletti goal that wins them the Champions League in a few minutes later, in the 83rd, 84th minute, whenever it was, doesn't happen. And possibly we could have got over the line, just got over it and lifted that trophy, be the first not just in North London, but the first in London at the time. And that's like we talked about Brentford earlier. For Arsenal, moving from Highbury to the Emirates, the perfect way to end one era and start the next as the best team in Europe. But no, the media fucking slaughtered us the next day, even though we fucking left everything on the pitch. We got absolutely torn to pieces compared to other teams that got to finals and lost. i.e. Man United against Barcelona, for example. Or trying to think. Or when Chelsea lost against Man United because they're a London team that could have been the first and this, that, and the other. They bottled John Terry, got a bit of a stake, but nothing to the level we got. Oh dear. Oh, when Liverpool lost the Champions League final a few years back, or when they lost it in Athens in 2008. No, not 2008, 2007, sorry. But yeah, it is what it is. Oh dear. Oh, there's going to chat, sorry, one sec. Frankie says Liverpool especially this season, they have been destabilised by injuries and general tiredness. I think it's more so tiredness. The injuries, you can sort of slightly add into the equation, slightly, not massively, because they did carry up when the said injuries like Van Dijk and all that happened, and Gomez and all that. They still continued on that path of playing, getting up, winning games, and basically being in the title race. Basically, it was literally New Year's Day onwards where they just fell apart. Lehman was the cause of the afternoon. You say that, but that was 0-0. Yeah, we went down at 10 men. He got sent off. I'll get into that in a minute, but at 0-0, it's still a couple minutes later, we go get a free kick, set piece, Campbell, 1-0, we score. So we did score, and we did, even with 10 men, we did have opportunities to kill that game off. But in my opinion, even with 11 men, we were a better team at that point. At first, and then the opening 17 minutes, we had a bit of a drop off for a couple of minutes, adjusting ourselves, but got our head sorted and went 1-0 up. But that, for me, the whole why was there no advantage played? Because he comes out, does what he does, Lehman. It's whatever way you want to look at it, it's stupid. But from him taking that Eto'o's pass, through ball pass, what you call it, if you can call it that, through ball or normal pass, whatever you want to do, the ball falls to Ludovic Giuly. It's an open goal. He shoots, the ball goes in the net. That would have been 1-0 Barca. Why was the advantage not played? It wasn't like minutes, not minutes. It wasn't like he took him out and then literally the ball didn't fall. It fell to an Arsenal player first, and then they made a mistake, and then Giuly scores that way. It literally ball falls directly to Ludovic Giuly. He scores. I would have quite happily, even though it would have been aggravating losing that clean sheet record, not extending it. Go 1-0 down, keep the 11 men on the pitch, and we come back that way and get back into the game with 11 men and go on to win still. then having to fight with 10 men for 70 minutes plus injury time of a game, of a Champions League final as well. And it's very intense. And any final was intense, but that was intense anyway because of what was at stake. I get what you're saying, but just there's things that could have been done that weren't done. It just for me, it didn't make sense. Even now, it doesn't make sense. When I talk about it, why was Avantis never played on? Because literally straight from that incident, straight away, no break in play. It literally forced Ludovic, really, bang 1-0, and he's like, okay. But then if it had gone, if Ludovic really had the shot and it had gone wide, for example, or over the bar or whatever, and he pulled it back, and he pulled the game back to sort out the layman actually the foul basically, then fair enough. You can go fair enough. There was no advantage. Whatever, we accept what it is. What happens then? But it's then the fact that there was an advantage. They score. It got pulled back still, and Layman got sent off, which then meant Perez got hooked off, which meant he then didn't. He's even said him being hooked off at that time to bring Almunia on instead of someone else because of his mindset and how that season panned out for him in terms of his playing time, especially at home at Highbury or whatever, Arsenal under Wenger. His mentality was that Wenger didn't believe him anymore, didn't trust him to help win games and things like that. And that's why he went to Villarreal. And then even more, the Invincible team got torn apart then. Not just him that season. Campbell then goes on a free to Pompey. After a few months ago, we stood by him. He still fucked off to Pompey. What did he do? Challenging knife and all that bollocks. So that was there. And then, I'm trying to think now. Henry's stayed with us in the end just to see our news after losing, obviously. Campbell and Perez, that's something he didn't want to fuck us over as well and have no real influence in the outfield players going forward. Sort of give the Arsenal fans some sort of something to look forward to, basically, come the start of next season, the 06-07 season. Because what was it? It lost Campbell. In terms of Invincible, the players from the Invincible squad, that summer we lost Campbell, Lauren, Perez. So I think Lundberg was a year later, I think. The following year, when Henry left. I think we just bought in Rosicky. We'd go on to buy Rosicky, sorry, after that Champions League final. Trying to think now. Lenz Lehmann was still there. Ashley Cole fucked off to Chelsea because of whatever went off in the negotiations of his new contract. But after all the what done me over with Chelsea, just before we wrap things up, was after Ashley Cole going to Chelsea, was the fact that both him and Chelsea and Mourinho had all been run ragged by the FA, basically fined, you name it, by the FA for basically illegally having meetings to discuss a possible transfer to the club 18 months prior. And where did he go when things went off with Arsenal? And Arsenal apparently withdrew his initial wage offer at the last minute. Went to Chelsea. And that was just like kicking the teeth, really. Like, okay, cool. All right, terrific. There we go again. Cool. But I see someone said, I think it was now. I really thought Arsenal would kick on after that Barca game. They reached further. I think I understand where you're coming from, because we did have the team to do it. We did have the personnel and the manager, because let's be honest, that 2006, that was 2 years after the Invincibles, at the Champions League final. Even though that season domestically hadn't been the best, we still got to the Champions League final, obviously. And so There's none of this dividing the fan base. We all believed in Wenger, this, that, and the other. And we sort of won a league in the second season at the end, let's just be honest, but it's not going to go to that one. But yeah, I think I get where you're coming from, but I think what would have helped us build that dynasty that you're basically talking about is if we'd won a Champions League. That Champions League itself was huge for both clubs, because if we'd won it, I think we would have gone on not to have the dominance of Barcelona as Barcelona did themselves, but would have still had a domestic dominance at least at that time, because we just won a Champions League, would have been able to attract bigger and better players and more funding that summer as well, etc., etc. Even though we're just moving to a new stadium, because of what you get is that the sponsorship stuff you sort of get from being that sort of caliber of a club there for that summer, etc., etc. All goes towards new players as well. So we would have been able to sort ourselves out and this, that, and the other, and also invest in our youth, like put money into our youth academy to get that going a lot quicker than what it has done. And yeah, that dynasty would have been built, and we would have had at least in terms of a domestic dominance, we'd have had that 100%. And I think we would have got to at least another 2 Champions League finals in the next 4 years. In the 4 years after that, so between 06 will be the final, so 07, 08, 09, and 010, 2 of the finals we would have got to and won one of them. So we would be 2-time European champions by now. But I think that the way we lost that final, we've actually been offside in this, that, and the other, everything else that sort of came about, it mentally fucked us, and we never recovered from that game, because between the Champions League final itself and when we lost that 50th game against the Man United at Old Trafford, we'd had defensively we had fallen off. We weren't playing good football, don't get me wrong, but it was like there was more defensive mistakes in us, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And this sort of cemented it. That Champions League final cemented that, and they just never recovered. They fully, that was it, the final nail in the coffin, and we never recovered from it. Whereas if we win it pulls us back towards that belief of it's just a 12 to 18 month blip. We can kick on now. But hey, it is what it is. It's all if that's and maybes at this point, but it is what it is. The Champions League final loss and Eduardo injury derailed us more than the move to the Emirates. Yeah. The initial loss itself, as you say, and then fast forward 18 months exactly. Eduardo literally has his ankle broken to the point that actual bone was literally bursting through his sock, and the socks are thick, by the way. I mean, they even then they were thick, and that bone burst through. That's how bad of a break he had, and that mentally fucked us. But it was, yeah, that didn't help the next generation. The next generation on from the Champions League final squad. That was the first, basically the first squad. That second season was our first proper squad we had that were good enough to win a title, bar the goal. Apart from Almunia in goal, it was still good enough to get us over the line at that time, to get us our league title. But we just didn't. And that Eduardo injury, as Tony says, fucked us, because if he doesn't get injured, Van Persie is literally, by the way, at this time injured as well, but he was weeks away from coming back, and we were on fucking fire that season. I mean, we were on it like you would not believe. And what frustrates me even more is Adebayor and Eduardo were starting to be put in the first 11 together as a duo, and they were working off each other like you wouldn't believe. And we were just playing really fucking fantastic football and scoring for fun, and literally putting everyone to the sword pretty much. And that Birmingham City game was pretty much us going. We were 6 points going into that game clear. If we'd won that, that'd be 9 points. We'd be 9 points clear that day. But instead of 7, but literally the Eduardo leg break, even though our fan base did everything we could to help the players mentally block it out, so to speak, and use it as an advantage and push them on, and doing things like making banners up and bits and things that everything we could in that time period, basically turn it into a positive. Win the league and Champions League for Eduardo, basically, like banners, things like that was up around the stadium. Do it for Eduardo with the trophies either side and things like that. They didn't. They didn't use it like we did, and they just went, well, okay, cool. They just switched. They fucking switched, and when they switched off, that was it. Well, I mean, why wasn't the likes of Gallas, that seasoned pros like William Gallas, even Arsene Wenger, pulling the younger players, the ones that didn't have that winning mentality in them, that used to winning league titles and all that. They're just coming into their career in this position for the first time, going through that mental shock of seeing what happened to their teammate, using it as an advantage and putting them to one side and going, look, it's obviously bad what's happened to Eduardo da Silva, but we can turn this into a positive. Let's come together as a squad, as a club, and do it for him. And like the fans would say, do it for Eduardo. Turn that thing from the negative into a positive to push you over that line. Why weren't they doing that? Because I don't get the impression they did do that behind the scenes. Gallas was more interested in having a sulk in the middle of the pitch, apparently, than doing anything else. He was our fucking captain, for fuck's sake. He actually had the armband given to him. He literally took the armband off Gilberto Silva. I'm sorry, Gilberto Silva would not have fucking sat in the middle of the pitch sulking, kicking things and this, that, and the other. He would have done what I've just said. Being the pro that he is and that mentality he has, gone to him, pulled him and had a team meeting, I think we would have got over the line. That in that case, but it is what it is. And now we find ourselves in a position where we're nowhere near competing for the title. And you could argue this team, I mean, in terms of players we have, are a lot better technically than what we had then. But obviously got Fabregas would get in this team back. Fabregas down would get in this team. Eduardo, Adebayor's and all that. Especially this season, fucking hell. But it is what it is. I'm jostling on there. The game's been over. We was just talking about Arsenal. It's fucking Champions League history and all that malarkey. Tony's saying that in response to Brown, I've used to rewatch that. I'm assuming on about the Champions League final. I've never actually rewatched the full game, like the full 90 minutes. Because I've got the season review DVD. When the club used to do that every season, they stopped doing it after the 13-14 season, ironically, because the 13-14 season, the one they did in house. They didn't even actually do what they changed tack, and it was awful. The 13-14 season review DVD that Arsenal put out was fucking awful. I'll be brutally honest. They did it all in house with their own camera angles. It's like you fucking you couldn't see a fucking thing basically. Like the camera like Whereas obviously up till then they were teaming up with lots of ITV, Sky, and using their footage, things like that. But for that one season, they went, no, we're going to use our own media outlet, basically, in-house stuff. And it was, as I said, it was diabolical. And since that season, we've not had a single DVD Arsenal season review DVD at all. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, as I was saying, I've got the 0506 Farewell to Highbury season review on DVD. And that's only way, even then, when it gets to that Champions League final, what sort of build-up when they're interviewing the fans and all that in Paris before the game, hours before the game and all that, what's all that bit? As soon as it cuts to the players walking out on the pitch, I turn the DVD. I physically can't, because it does. It does my head in, because I think the second clip they show is that Lehman incident. I keep going back to what I said. Why was the Invited not played? Well, we've all said it, but it is what it is. Anyway, only 3 to 4 of those players will make it in the same year. And then, as I said, the Fabregas is of this world. Fabregas back then would get in this team, hands down. Eduardo Adebayor. I'm trying to think now. Bear with me. Even Walcott back then, and Walcott was only just coming. His second full season at Arsenal, not just at Arsenal, but in the first team. Even Walcott getting into this squad at the moment. Walcott of then, I mean. And he was literally, 8? I'm trying to think now. He's like same age as me, so he would be. I think now there's a few. He's obviously just gone. I don't think 18. He was at 18, going on 19 that season. I'm trying to think now. Was it by Sanya that season as well? Bako Sanya in the second season at the Emirates. I think we did. Yeah, we did. Bako Sanya would get in this team at right back comfortably as well. Hleb would get in this team. That's 5. But yeah. Stefan saying football can't come and go in cycles. Arsenal will come. Of course, it'll come again. I'm not saying it'll never come. I'm not saying we'll never get back to them dizzy heights of dominating, or not dominating, competing and dominating at domestic and European level. Never. I'm not saying that will never happen. It's just such a far cry. When we're here talking about them seasons, the early stages of the Emirates, moving into the Emirates, and even before, and you're like at the early 2000s, even Garth Crooks and other ex football pundits from other rival clubs throughout the years, generations gone by, when they look at pundits, have come out and said between 2000 and 2007, so that's 2008, Arsenal were the best team to watch. Not just to watch, but just the best team in Europe, full stop. And then obviously Barcelona went hold my beer and took it to the next level for the whole world to fucking see. And just they did it with them. They had that European title to push them on. As I said, if we'd won it, we would have pushed on ourselves. But it is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up now because I need to go off, make myself a coffee, make a thumbnail for tomorrow's Watchalong, which again the main covering both games. We're going to keep an eye on both games, but the main one is going to be Bayern Munich versus PSG, Lewandowski versus Mbappe and Neymar, etc. Serge Gnabry, I think he's to be playing Sane, etc., etc. And obviously, as I said, second glance of the Porto versus Chelsea match as well. I also got to make a funnel for a preview, to do a preview for Thursday's game for us, and then do the watch along on Thursday with me and the guys for that. And then Friday be a play rating / review. Saturday, so I think Saturday, I'm doing the El Clasico at 8 o'clock UK time. I think it's 8 o'clock UK time, kickoff. El Clasico watch along. Anyone wants to join me on the stream for that, let me know. And then Sunday, doing the Sheffield United versus Arsenal watch along with the guys again. And that's going to be at that one. Let's have a look. What's the final score, by the way? It was 7-0 in the end. Norwich. Sister's birthday. 7 p.m. kickoff. So it's a 7 p.m. kickoff. Okay. Evening kickoff. I can take that. That's cool. Obviously, my sister's birthday on Sunday, sorry. So still do what I can do. All the birthdays, get all the birthday stuff, and then the evening to myself, basically. Yay! And then because that's a late kickoff on Sunday, the review for that game / player rating stream podcast, we're going to call it, will be then going out on Monday. Monday evening with me and the guys as well. Mark Lane, Leicester versus West Ham, Sunday 2 p.m. That's going to be a massive game. That could be, as you guys know, I literally went for West Ham to to get that final Champions League spot, that 4th spot. So I think if they can get a draw, or even better, 3 points out of that game against Leicester, which is possible because Leicester have been inconsistent, especially at home. Leicester's home form this season has been bad. I mean, fucking hell, we beat them, for fuck's sake. And we were losing at one point. West Ham got even better, a very good chance of winning the game. And obviously, if they do that, they get a point or 3 on Sunday against Leicester. I actually do believe they'll just get over the line in terms of getting that 4th spot. And that's fair play to them. But as I said, it will put pressure on the likes of the West Ham owners for next season with the fan base. But yeah, big up Johnny's just left right away. See you tomorrow, mate. Yeah, sorry for joining on, by the way, about talking about Arsenal, depressing everyone about Arsenal. Brownie's fault. Yeah, and do smash them likes up, guys. That's what I'm about to say. That thing's up now anyway, because it is, as I said, I am joining on a bit now. But yeah, do smash them likes up. Every like counts towards get back into the YouTube algorithm of things and getting YouTube to recommend me to newer faces and newer, not just in the UK, globally around the world. And yeah, build up this community even faster and quicker than currently expected. If I'm being honest, I think what we have now. Let's have a look quickly. Between now and New Year's Eve, I want to put a target in place now. A target of how many subs I want to be at. Right, we're at 1.706. Okay. So my target for the channel between now and New Year's Eve this year is going to be, in terms of subscribers, I want to hit at least 3,000 subscribers between now and then. Obviously, if we hit it before, and that's great, and we'll reassess things. But yeah, that'd be absolutely fantastic, and we sort of move on. We kick on then. So it does help if you, again, not only just like, but sharing these streams around on your WhatsApps or social media platforms, etc. Periscope, if you can access that still. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, Discords, whatever. Just plug it away, plug away. The more plugging you do, I'll massively appreciate it, as always, as I've always done. And yeah, I think with that, take that down. So yeah, this will be a good match, yeah. Hopefully, yeah. I'll take this fucking banner down. Bloody, I thought it was always taken down. But yeah, with that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for Bayern Munich versus PSG. Going live literally, I'll go live about 5-10 minutes before kickoff. I'll try and see if anyone's available to come on with me. So Angel's got me droning on. And yeah, until then, as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners!